Welcome. In front of me is a POCO M4 from Xiaomi, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device. So let's just get straight into it. Now, that being said, I am a fan of at least the previous POCOs, specifically like the F5 lineup. Those were absolute fantastic devices, especially for how much they costed. They delivered massive amounts of performance for the price. So I'm hoping to see something really good right here. Now this, that being said, this won't be actually a device that would cater to me. So I want to just kind of mention that right away, because probably my opinion of this device might be a little bit different than for some other people. This is a budget version of like POCO devices, like very budget, coming at about 130 euros. So it is on a low end, like really low end. But in any case, we do get a case, no pun intended there, to be honest. Just pop that out. So here's our case for the device. Then we get the phone itself. Just get rid of the paperwork so it doesn't clutter. So we have a couple information right here. We have a MediaTek Dimensity 700. It is a 5G chipset, if you care for that or not. We have 90 Hz refresh rate with Full HD Plus resolution, dynamic switch display, so meaning it will dynamically switch between 60 and 90 Hz refresh rate. We have a 5000 mAh battery in here with 18 watts fast charging, and then we get a 13 megapixel AI dual camera. Okay, the last one was kind of like whatever. We also have this device in a bisky yellow color. It is like really vibrant. Now below that, in typical Xiaomi fashion, unlike Samsung, they provide you with a charger, and not just any kind of charger. Unlike Samsung, they actually give you a decent charger for the most part. And for about 130 bucks, we get, let's see, what do we get? We get 22.5 watt max charging speed charger, which I don't think it's going to be visible. Maybe if I get the light there. So you can see it right here, literally above my finger, 22.5 max. So for the price that Samsung sells accessories, you actually get a phone and a charger with it. And the reason I'm kind of ragging on that is because something like a Fold 4, which costs $1,800, just gives you the phone. It doesn't even give you a case, nor the charger. I'm surprised they even give you a cable for it. So yeah, anyway, that's basically what we have in a box. Now let's turn it on. Let's get rid of the light from the camera. There we go. Putting it on the case, just we can kind of see how it fits, looks. There we go. Fits snugly over the device itself. The cameras also become a little bit protected with the case. One thing that I want to point out, it does have a camera bump, a very small one, but they did something similar to what Pixels do with their visors. So it is spread across the entire length. Therefore, the phone does not wobble whatsoever, as you can see. Maybe if you press it like right here, it lifts up just a little bit, but it is like you won't ever feel it. You actually need to press to lift it up, and even when it does, it's barely noticeable. Pretty good design choice right there. Okay, so let's now talk about the display. So I did already say a couple of the specs, and now to be more precise, it is an LCD IPS display running 90 Hz refresh rate with a resolution of 1080p by 2400 or 2408 more precisely, which puts it at about 400 pixels per inch. It also boasts an 83.6% screen to body ratio and has corner Gorilla glass on the front. And yeah, that's about it. Now moving on into the cameras, which we have two of them at the back. We have a 13 megapixel wide and then 2 megapixel depth sensor, which can record at 1080p 30 frames. And then at the front, selfie right here in this drop, like a drop notch, whatever you want to call it, teardrop, is a 5 megapixel wide sensor, again 1080p 30 frames recording. Now moving on into the internals of this device, I did already mention the battery, which is 5000 milliamp hours, so that is a pretty decent battery size. It is a standard nowadays, but still it is a good battery size. There we go. It had a little bit of a wonkiness where it didn't want to turn on. But in any case, moving on. So internally, I did talk about the battery. The processor is the Dimensity 700, which I already did mention. What I didn't mention is the storage, which the very base version, which, let's see which one I have here. I have the 4 GB and 64 storage. So this is the entry model, and it goes up to 128 gigs with 6 GB of RAM instead of the 4. So it doubles in storage and RAM, or the RAM doesn't actually double, but it increases by 2. So that being said, I would probably recommend going for the 128 GB model with 6 gigs of RAM, because number one, the increase in storage is always beneficial. 64 might not be always sufficient, and I'm going to be completely honest, if you ever run out of storage on a device that doesn't have much of it, when you install applications, some of the applications will not allow you to install them on an SD card. Even though this device has an SD card, you might just have applications that cannot be moved to it. Therefore, all of them need to take the actual phone storage, and once you run out of that, it gets really annoying to deal with storage. So I highly recommend going for the 128 gigs instead, which also beneficially gives you the additional RAM, putting it at 6 gigs, which again, for an Android 12 device, I would recommend picking it up, just because that additional RAM will go a little bit further than the 4, which is not even like bare minimum at current times, I would say. So that would be my recommendation if you're planning to pick this device up. And in terms of storage type right here, if anyone cares, it is a UFS 2.2. So it's actually pretty good for the price. Now, let's continue down. Let's talk about the aesthetics, I guess, and also features right here. So build, you can clearly see it is plastic all around, outside of just the front screen, which is glass, corner Gorilla, plastic back frame. Then at the top we have a headphone jack, if anyone cares for that. We also have an IR blaster, which is a thing that Xiaomi includes on their devices. I don't think always, but for the most part, most of the devices do have that. And what it allows you to do is control your appliances, like home appliances, meaning TVs, set boxes and other stuff that just have IR remote control. You can control all of them with the phone, which comes with already an application installed on it. Then at the bottom, we have a Type-C charging port right here. We have a microphone, we have speakers, and that's about it. Then on the side, we have a fingerprint that doubles as a power button, along with volume rockers. And then here we have our SIM/SD tray on the other side. So with that being said, for about 130 euros, you actually get a pretty decent package with a device that has, I would say, pretty good specs for what you get to pay, which is still pretty good. Now it's going to be relatively slow, at least for my taste. So I would probably myself want to spend a little bit more and get the device that comes with a bit better processor, so the device can perform faster. That would be my personal choice. But still, if you're working only with like 140 euros, 30 euros, you should be good to go with this device. If that is your budget, I think this device will perform pretty good for the price. I want to stress out, for the price. It won't be an outstanding device, don't get me wrong, but for the price, it is a good device. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.